Everybody on YouTube. This is Colene Simmons again. This time it's an interview with my daughter, Audra. I've known Audra a long time, from zero. So, Audra, how old were you when I started hormones?
8, I think.
8 years old. And what are you now, 21, 22?
34.
34. Oh, shit, I'm old. That makes me, never mind. So what was it like growing up with a father who became my mommy?
I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't easy. A lot of times I felt like my dad got stolen from me.
Really?
Sometimes, but I wouldn't be who I am today if you wouldn't have been who you were.
Now, I had custody of you, correct?
Hmm.
I mean, you lived with me full time.
Yes.
And I was married to Jane,
Yes.
and we lived as two women. So you caught a lot of grief for that.
Yeah.
And you caught a lot of grief because I was transgender.
Yeah.
And a lot of people knew that I was transgender.
Yeah.
And you got you got a hard time at school for that.
Yeah.
And tell the people how that was. I mean,
I didn't really have a lot of friends. People are scared of what they don't know always. They don't understand. Um, Kids are mean. They're cruel. They picked on me. It was hard because, when you're a teenager, you're going through all the hormonal changes and you just want to fit in, and I didn't fit in. And I know it was hard on her. I was a cutter, and I was just a mean female and teenager, and I feel bad for a lot of the stuff I put her and Jane through, and anybody else out there that might have kids. I'm not gonna lie and say that it's gonna be easy. It's gonna be hard. Your kids are gonna get picked on. They're gonna get bullied. They're gonna get bashed. The people are gonna start fights with them. Uh, they're gonna get ugly notes in school. They're probably gonna get brought home to you. It's not gonna be pretty, but you have to be you, because if you're not happy with you, you can't be there for your kids. And if she wouldn't have made a good example of herself, then I wouldn't be who I am. I would be somebody else, and I wouldn't want to be anybody else. I wouldn't be the loving, caring, giving person that I am today if she wouldn't have set an example for me back then. So that's the best thing that I can say for somebody out there who might be going through the same thing that has kids, is that you have to show your children that you love yourself, because that's the most important thing that you could teach them. You need to love yourself first before you can really be a parent to them. And to me, that's the most important thing that she ever taught me, was that she loved her so that I could love me, because that was what I really needed.
well, don't cry. You make me cry. It'll be a crying match.
You don't understand how long I didn't love myself because the kids picked on me, and I didn't love myself for a really long time.
I know, but I loved you.
I know,
And
but you loving yourself, like when you finally had your surgery, and that was, I think, as odd as it was for me at first, and I was already grown when that happened, and I wish you could have had that sooner, because when that finally happened, you finally loved yourself because you were finally you. And that's when I finally saw that if you're just yourself and you love yourself, how much happier your life is. And that was one of my awe moments in life, when you finally had your surgery and I finally got to see you happy. I got to see you as you, and that was one of my awe moments in life.
Yeah. Well, do you remember me getting investigated by the state of Tennessee, Indiana, and Kentucky?
Yeah, several times.
I got investigated once by Kentucky and
Sorry.
twice by the state of Tennessee, and you remember that. Not only because I was transgender, because I had multiple personality disorder. And all three times the state found me a very credible parent. And you knew me as had multiple personality disorder. And you could tell who's that just by looking at me, can't you?
Mm-hmm.
And was the multiples ever mean to you?
No.
Cruel?
No. Some of them are angry, but they never hurt me or anything. But sometimes they get angry, but they've never hurt me or nothing like that.
Were they loving to you?
Yeah.
Are some of them very different than me? Can you explain it?
It's hard to explain. Like, Kim's very blunt.
Oh yeah, she's very blunt.
Yeah. Penny's like, she's like a little kid.
She has no feeling. No.
Right. She can't feel anything.
Yeah.
Like, it's like her nerve endings are just dead. April's very shy and timid. Those are the ones I know the most. John's kind of almost like he has a disconnect from the world. Like, I don't know, John's hard to explain, but he's the one that made me understand how the whole personality thing kind of breaks down and made me really understand how it happened and made me understand how it worked, and so that I didn't like freak out about it and stuff.
Right, right.
So,
But and that's what took me so long to get my letter for surgery, because of the multiple personality, getting all them to come together. And Dr. Brown is the one that helped me with that when I moved here, and that's what took me so long to get my letter, was the multiple. And you named your first child after one of my multiple.
yeah, Dresden.
Dresden. And I love Dresden. He's such a cutie. But and I'm so sorry I had to put you through all that, but it was either be Colene or dead, I love you with all my heart.
I know you do.
And do anything in the world for you.
And it's like I said, I wouldn't be me if you weren't you. I'd be somebody else, and I wouldn't want to be anybody else.
You're my favorite daughter. Just because you're my only daughter doesn't mean anything. You're still my favorite daughter. But and I just wanted to have you on here and do the interview, and so other people who are going through this with children can understand, and and it was hard, and I'm sorry, and I'm so proud of you for being in the Navy and serving our country, and if you had went in the Marine Corps, I'd kick your butt.
You ever have to apologize for any of that, anything, but I mean, it was never easy and it was never fun, but I mean, we had fun times,
Yeah.
And
I remember
it's just my life, I wouldn't take my life back for anything. Like I said, I wouldn't be me. I would be, I don't know, some snobby bitch or something probably. And I don't want to be like that. There's plenty of those out in the world. The world doesn't need more. Trust me.
Well, I taught you to hunt and fish and shoot.
How many girls can kill a deer, skin it, butcher it, and do all that stuff?
And you can.
No.
Yeah. And I remember when she was about 11 years old. We was up at the pond fishing.
Oh God.
And she's going like, "Colleen, can you bait my hook?" And I looked at her and was going like, "What do you mean bait your hook?" She goes, "I'm not supposed to like worms." And she had a couple of her friends there. I was going, "Bait the hook." She goes, "I can't like worms." Because her friends were there, all of a sudden she couldn't like worms. I'm like, "Well, bait the damn hook." Well, if you got any questions, you can leave them below and I'll answer them. Or any comments, please leave them. And remember, we're all part of the whole. Thanks so much for watching. Bless.